Hello, welcome once again to Jerry Builds Things. It is I, Jerry, builder of the things, some things. So I recently committed myself to a fairly decent sized project. There is a drag and drive event coming up in September. I don't have a vehicle to compete in said drag and drive event, but I want to spectate it, which means road tripping the whole thing in a big loop. It seems like a whole lot of fun. And since I believe that life is too short to drive boring vehicles, at least some of the time, even though I have a perfectly functioning, road reliable, kind of, Chevy Suburban, I decided to get my 1990/1985 dually back on the road again and take that, because honestly I think it's cooler to drive, and it looks cooler, and it sounds cooler, and it feels better, and it's just more awesome. More awesome is better. Even if I'm gonna have to look at financing options to fill the gas tank. So it's gonna take a little bit of work. It's nothing too crazy, but it's a lot of little things. And rebuilding an engine. That's kind of a little thing, maybe. But all the little things could add up, and that with my busy schedule and working full-time job, finding time to do all this stuff is probably gonna be the biggest hurdle. I'm super excited for the trip. I'm super excited to get that thing on the road again. So allow me to give you a tour of a slightly less than polished turd. All right. So I put this pig up on skates so I get it moved over a little bit, because the truck does not run. And I had to give it room in between its sister over here. They argue sometimes. So anyway, be a little easier to show you what's up with this thing. Whew, man, that was not easy. All right, so year, make, and model. It's a 1990 body. They made this body style up until 91 with this, the Suburban, and the Blazer, I think. The chassis and the drivetrain, that's all 1985-ish. I haven't owned this truck for very long, but inside of a year, the clear coat really started coming off this thing. I knew it was not the best when I bought it. The guy had it in the description. Hey, clear coat's chipping. There's orange peel on the paint. It's not the greatest paint job ever. I wasn't really worried about it. I'm still not worried about it. I mean, it's not making the truck fall apart. There's a lot other reasons for that. This side isn't too bad. The roof, I don't know if you can see it from there. The roof is pretty much devoid of clear coat, and then over here it just started really flaking off. That's last on the list. It's not a show truck. I'll take care of it someday, but this trip ain't gonna be it. All right, I'll get this thing unlocked and we'll take a look inside. So the dash looks like a mess. Don't let that fool you, it really is a mess. It had speed hut gauges when I got it. They're okay. The fuel tank never really worked from the get-go, and a couple of the other gauges started dying. I think it was an oil pressure gauge, and it wasn't just a sender, it was a gauge. Something was wrong with it. Really, the only thing I love about these gauges is the GPS speedometer, so you don't have to screw with that speedometer gear and hope that you have it right. I know some racers might disagree with me. I like odometer gauges. I haven't raced any vehicles before. Some people say they're cheap. I think they look cool. That's just me though, I guess. I like the ultralight too, the way it lights up. So anyway, there's a lot of crap in here in the way, because I have parts from both this truck and that lovely specimen over there. So I have everything squirreled away in here right now. But as I get working on this thing, I'm gonna start taking out all these boxes and kind of reacquainting myself with my inventory. I dynamated the roof and the whole floor. You can't see it, but I took out the entire interior, and it severely reduced the whole tin can effect on this truck way down. The only thing I didn't do with Dynamat yet was the doors. I have a whole box of Dynamat left, so I'll probably get to that. Again, probably not this trip. This trip's basically just gonna get this truck running and get her to move and stop under her own power. So the back seat, we pretty much have more of the same stuff. Here's the instrument bezel that the remaining instruments are actually in. Whoever wired it used about 7,000 feet of this green wire. All the excess was coiled up behind the gauges. I actually trimmed a lot of it out, and I have it in a drawer as like auxiliary wire to use. So anyway, more parts. I had a slave cylinder die on me once on this thing, so I bought two. One to keep in the back of the truck if it ever happened again, because that was not a fun situation. And I bought some engine parts a while ago in anticipation of fixing up that engine that came out of it. Now it is Silverado trim, so it's got power locks, power windows. I'm not too super thrilled with the power window performance. I mean, I know they're old, they're slow, and honestly, I haven't taken apart the regulators and cleaned them and all that. And I also know that they sell an upgrade relay kit. It's got heavier gauge wire that goes straight to the battery, and that might make it faster as well. Actually, I've thought in the past of just replacing this with a manual window regulator. I don't know. If I gotta get it running better, maybe I'll keep them, I'm not sure. So anyway, pretty much stock interior. The carpet has definitely seen better days. I'd eventually want to get this swapped over to vinyl flooring. My first vehicle, it was a 95 Chevy half-ton, and it had the vinyl flooring. It was like a work truck model with a V6. I like that vinyl flooring. Easy to take care of. So that's pretty much it, just more car parts. And more of the same back here. Got the starter, another spare bell housing. I can't even remember what that came from. More parts in here. And oh, I was looking for that. All right. Moving on to the engine compartment. I told you the truck ain't running. So, not too long ago, I wiped a cam lobe. So that kind of stopped me in my tracks. The engine this truck came with is 454. Originally, when I bought the truck, it had that motor, Muncie SM465 manual transmission, and advanced adapters, or Novak, or whoever they were at the time, Ranger overdrive unit, and the NP205 transfer case behind it. And then I think it's technically a Dana 60 in the front, and then a Dana 70 in the rear. Of course, it's got manual locking hubs and full floating axle in the rear, and a whole mess of wiring. It looks scarier than what it is. That's just a lot of the wires from the grill. There's a lot of excess stuff on here too, because the body was a fuel injection truck, and the chassis, it's carbureted motor, so there was some excess wiring in here. I just haven't trimmed it all out yet. So along with slapping the motor back in here, I'm gonna neaten up this engine compartment. Maybe even get rid of some of these tree trimmings or whatever the heck it is. Alright, so then I have a camper top, and I have even more junk. Exhaust manifolds, Flowmaster 50s, and you can just see the corner of it right there. The giant radiator. When I got this truck, that radiator had seen better days. The truck had some overheating issues and stuff. So, long story short, I took it to a radiator shop up by me, one of the few remaining radiator shops in the country, it seems, and had them rebuild it. Yeah, with the Spectra Premium deal, whatever it was, they make it in Canada, where it's a Canadian company or something, and the specific model that I needed is not sold in the American market. So I literally could not get a hold of that radiator, even though I was willing to buy it. I was willing to pay it's like $1,100 for that enormous radiator, but I couldn't get it. So I had the one that I had fixed. So that worked out. It's like brand new, like I said, works really well. So yeah, just general parts back here. There's a radiator, core support, radiator trim panel there. There's the grill, the chrome grill that previous owner painted black, water pump, AC pump from aftermarket unit that I bought, and another box parts. And I think that's the newer carburetor. Yeah, that's my carburetor. So yeah, there's all the other stuff inside camper top, which is an all original camper top from the, I don't know, late 70s or 80s. Whatever it is, it actually fits this truck perfectly. It is actually the camper top for this truck. And it's one of my favorite features about it because it's like pristine on the inside. The glass is all there. Bug screens are all there. I do eventually want to put some like LED lighting on the inside of it instead of I had a tap light taped up here, which, I mean, it worked. It wasn't the best, but I want to kind of formalize it with some actual LED lighting. I think that'd be pretty cool. So that's that. Snug as a bug in a camper top. Yeah, also the marker lights on the back of the tailgate, I'd like to get those working again. They've never worked since I owned it. It's not a huge thing, but I just think they look pretty cool. And getting back to that wiring, eventually I'd actually like to build my own wiring harness. I've seen a few videos on some finished wiring harnesses that people have done, and they come out really nice. And I have done some lazy wiring in this truck that I am not proud of. So yeah, unfortunately this is all me. This is me here. That's me. That's not, I'm not gonna blame it on the previous guy. Oh no, they really stuck me with a rat's nest. No, that's me. Not all of it. This crap back here is original. This crap over here is original. But a lot of the other stuff, like newer wires that you see like that, I can't even remember what that is. That's me. That's another reason I'm making these videos, is to hold myself accountable and kind of commit myself to making a better product. Can't wait to get that in order too. Here's my custom mechanical brake setup to keep it from rolling when it doesn't have any drivetrain in it. I call it genius. I might check the fluid in this thing, although it doesn't appear to be dripping a lot. Maybe that just means that it's empty. Who knows? Time will tell. All right, so all the way over there, 40 feet away, I had a fuel pump die on this thing. It's a mechanical fuel pump, so it was such a pain in the butt to get at behind the engine mount that I opted to just replace it with, I think that's that Holley Mighty Might or something fuel pump, because the operating fuel pressure is like right in the perfect range. I think people use it for like tractors or something. It works excellent. I bought 2 of those as well. Like, I kept one behind the seat just in case the other one died, because at this point it's like a 5-minute change out. Here's the Dana 70, I believe it is. I'll spin this around just like the other one. You can see I might actually pull the cover off and see. We're gonna see how far I get and if I have time for extra stuff like that, because I was like, well, maybe I should also check the backlash, but I don't know if I want to invoke any demons doing that and then find out how bad things really are. And what else? Oh yeah, this was a lovely little find that I had after I stopped driving the truck because the cam wiped out. That looks like normal, right? Yeah, spring shackle, the hanger, and then come around to the other side and I'm like, oh, hello. So I gotta fix that. That's probably number 1 on the list before I even mess with anything else. So that's the nastiness that's underneath this beautiful piece of machinery. So let's head inside and start looking at the components. The engine block, 454, 1985-ish. You can see that it's been sitting for so long. There's some mold growing on it now. Unfortunate. No, that's overspray paint from a project that me and my son were doing. So anyway, one of these bell housing bolt holes might be, it's that one right there. I had done some transmission swap before, and when I went to tighten everything up, I barely even put the proper amount of torque on that thing, and it stripped out. I repaired that with a key insert. I pulled all the freeze plugs in the oil gallery or galley, however you pronounce it, all the plugs out of there. I haven't cleaned the engine block yet, but that's next. I mean, the engine was running fine when the cam took a dump. I actually might not have to put too much work into honing the cylinders again. I am going to do new bearings and rings and all that. This is going to be a very budget rebuild, much to the chagrin of professional and amateur engine builders alike. I'm going to do everything in this shop. Moving on to the transmission. That guy right there is the one that came with it, the Muncie 465. Long story short, the Ranger overdrive got really noisy. It was the input shaft or the output shaft bearing. One of them went, I mean, it was destroyed. It was hard to find parts for that Ranger overdrive. So basically I wanted to upgrade to better shifting and a more modern powertrain. So that's why I settled on the Tremec TR 4050. I'm not 100% sure of the specs. I think this thing handles like 600 foot-pounds of torque. This transmission's been pretty good. Shift's great. The overdrive is great. It's quiet. It's quiet. Oh my God, it's quiet. It's silent next to the previous drivetrain that was in there. Now, really the most annoying noise coming out of that truck when you're driving it is the enormous hole in the floor, since the transmission tunnel cover that was stock to that thing doesn't fit this transmission, and no matter how I tried to trim it or cut it, it did not fit. So I just opted to pitch that one. I was going to make another one, and my bodywork skills are not awesome, so I haven't built the trans tunnel cover yet. So maybe I'll get that done before the trip. We'll see. Here sitting on my lathe are the drive shafts. What you see here on the top is the two-piece for the rear, and then kind of hidden in the bottom is the front. It goes to the NP205 transfer case. And let's move on. NP205 transfer case. Nothing much to see. Aluminum adapter ring on there is what Silver Sport supplies with the install kit for that transmission. Here's some of the engine internals. Got the crank, pistons, and rods. I'm just going to keep the pistons and rods together. You can see the crank's been ground, 30 on the rods, 20 on the mains. The journals aren't the greatest, but they're not terrible. So I'll probably just put a polish, hand polish them best I can, and then that'll be it. All right, here are the heads. Good old peanut ports. Nothing glamorous. As far as I know, they hadn't had any work done to them. They don't have bigger valves in them or anything. That's that for the heads. Nothing crazy special. Well, there you have it. I have my work cut out for me, as you can probably see. I'll most likely start with that leaf spring shackle bolt, since that's a safety thing, and I already bought the bolt a while ago. It's just buried in all those boxes in the truck, so I gotta dig it out. I have to locate it first, and that might take longer than the whole project itself. So once I get that located, once I get that installed, then I'm going to size up the engine block and start working on that. Honing, cleaning, measuring, that's going to be a whole thing. I'm excited to get this project rolling. Be on the lookout for new videos, new project updates. So if you thought this video was cool, give me a like, subscribe, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching Jerry Builds Things, and remember, just get out there and build some things. Later.